We're joined by Éric Chevrette, who's just published this book. It's called The Wealth Algorithm for IT Consultants, the Independent Consultant's Guide to Maximizing Revenues, Tax Efficiency, and Retirement Planning. Now, Éric, why a book on financial management targeted to independent consultants? Why do they need this, and how does it help them?
I started in the financial services 15 years ago. By pure accident, I had a colleague of mine. His brother was an independent consultant, and I'm from an entrepreneurial family. My dad was an entrepreneur, and I realized that this guy, who was a business owner, didn't have access to a lot of the tools that my dad was using back in the days. So I said, there's probably something there. And my dad created a company where the one-stop shop concept was always very close to his heart. So this became my business model. So the IT360, the 360 is really about working with independent consultants at all levels. We realized that there's not a lot of accountants that specialize with independent consultants. There's not a lot of financial advisors that specialize with independent consultants, but they have the same needs as regular business owners. So putting all that under one roof became my business model.
There's a chapter there, there's talk about broken paradigms. Are you saying that maybe they're not getting the advice and the help that they really need?
Yes. Keep in mind that independent consultants were employees before. So if you're an employee, RSPs, TFSAs, the regular stuff, the pension plan from your employer or health benefit from your employer, but they've decided at 50 years of age to become consultant. If you're a financial advisor in Canada, 90% of Canadians are family, T4 employees. So a lot of the people that give advice are very good at what they do for that specific market of T4 employees, family market. But a very small percentage are fully dedicated to business owners, and very limited amount of us are fully dedicated to independent contractors. So the broken paradigm are just a couple of examples is, when I was an employee, I did contribute to my RSP. So it must be the same when I'm a business owner. The answer to all these questions is no. There's a lot more out there when you are a business owner, and the broken paradigms in the book, I mention a lot of those, and they are important to optimize what you've been doing with your money or what you're doing with your money.
So for business owners, it's a one-stop shop. Is it a one-time stop, or can you accompany them through the different stages of their life cycles and their business cycles?
Yes, basically we divide the financial life of our clients in three main stages. Accumulation stage, the retirement stage, the withdrawal phase, and the succession planning. And at all different stages, there's a different type of advice that are required. A 35-year-old contractor who is new in that career, accumulation phase, 2 kids, a wife, will have different requirement than a 62-year-old consultant ready to retire. And the main question are, am I gonna have enough money? How do I pull that money from those different buckets tax efficiently?
Now, in your book, you talk about, this is interesting, financial chiropractors, and there's a thing called Neuron that sort of puts this all together. Can you talk a bit about that?
The chiropractor image, I really like this because when I meet those clients, with my team, we realize that a lot of them have been doing great things, okay? So a chiropractor will not change everything, but they will tweak, make some small adjustment. And this is what we do. But sometimes a small adjustment over 5, 10, 15 years may change a lot the destination. I'm a sailor, okay? And if you adjust the sail on a sailboat, you don't need to adjust the sail to change the direction or the outcome. This is what I meant by being a chiropractor. Minor tweak that make a big difference at the end of the day. We have in our financial center a mad scientist, I like to call him. His name is Danny Provo. Danny is like, if you combine a geek, a mathematician, a financial planner, and a tax expert in one human being, realized 15 years ago at the time that there was no real tool out there precise enough to help advisors and their clients to make proper decisions. I have $1. Where do I put that dollar as saving? And when I withdraw that dollar, $1 pre-tax and $1 after tax is not the same dollar. So Danny and the people at the lab that we call Neuron, the tool that they put together, help us and our client to make sure that along the way, accumulation, withdraw, and succession planning phase, we are able to take the proper decision. This is the way it works. We modelize the way you are doing things. I will take you as an example, Gary, okay? Today, you are doing a lot of things for saving, the way you pay yourself, the way you accumulate, and things like that. And I will put that in the machine, in the Neuron software, and bring you to retirement. And I will have an outcome for Gary today. And then I will have the recommendation that the tool is bringing to the table, and I will modelize you through those phases and look at you at retirement and be able to say, Gary, which of these two Garys do you prefer? The one you've been working with all your life, or with those minor tweaks, with the help of the software and the expertise behind it, the other Gary?
So it's more than an application. You talked about being a virtual laboratory, or?
Basically, there's 9 people working at the lab today, okay? And the goal is to maintain that tool to make sure that when there's a change at the tax level, either provincial or federal, everything has been updated to help us and the clients make the proper decision. People are dying for answers. Should I do this or that? Should I do that or this? With that tool, when we do the data collection with the client and we talk about what he's doing, what he wants to do, when he wants to retire, does he want to leave money to his kids or a charity, all those things are very complex if you don't have the proper tool to modelize all these things and help you take the proper decision.
It's about getting a clear corporate investment policy and protecting net worth in many ways. And you talk about 3 pillars in the book. What are the 3 pillars?
The 3 pillars of the corporate investment policies are people use insurance in many different ways. Most people use insurance for protection. When you're a business owner, this is the most powerful tool to do defiscalization of the corporate money. So the first pillar is to break that paradigm. Oh, insurance, yeah, it's to protect if I die too soon, my family will have money, or if I get ill, I will receive money, In a business setting, insurance strategies are the most powerful tool and the first pillar to defiscalize corporate money. The second pillar is what I call the executive pension plan. The executive pension plan is like an RSP on steroids. An RSP is for T4 employees. They are not T4 employees anymore, even if they pay themselves a salary from the corporate setting. They are business owners. CRA gave them the opportunity a long time ago, just like big corporations, to set up an employer's pension plan. Yeah, but Éric, I'm alone. Yeah, you are a business owner. Your corporation can set up a plan. The expenses are deductible, and the money will go in the pension plan with deferred taxes, just like an RSP. But the difference is in RSP, you're always limited to 18% of your salary. With the EPP, the Executive Pension Plan, you can go all the way up, depending on your age, to 30% of your salary. So long story short, if you understand RSP, you will understand the Executive Pension Plan, but you can put way more money in the EPP. The third pillar is the corporate portfolio. A corporate portfolio is non-registered money. Okay? Non-registered money is subject to yearly taxes. The problem is there's a lot of toxicity in a corporate portfolio if you don't manage it properly. Interest-bearing gains are 50% tax. Then you have the foreign stock like Microsoft or Alibaba, that are very good stock. But in a corporate setting, the tax eat a lot of these gains. What's important for us using the tool is the after-tax dollar. So how do we solve the issue of a corporate portfolio to make sure that we make gains, we grow, but tax efficiently? It's all in the book.
So the proof is in the pudding. Éric Chevrette, thank you very much for taking time with us.
Thank you, Gary.
We're joined now by the one who's written the foreword to this book. Michael Leacy is an executive board member of ACSESS. He's also the chief sales officer of one of the largest agencies in Canada. And he joins the conversation with Éric Chevrette here to talk about how IT360 adds value to relationships with independent contractors. First of all, Michael, why writing the foreword, and how is the wealth algorithm for IT consultants relevant for members of your association?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here today. It was my pleasure writing the foreword. Independent consultants, or as we call them, knowledge workers, play a vital role in the Canadian economy. And when you look at an independent consultant, they're really small businesses. And they're small businesses that have expertise. They're leveraging their skills, their experience, to provide that knowledge around information technology, engineering, finance and accounting, as well as legal services. And really, this book, or IT360, pulls together all the things that they require in order to run their business, whether it's starting it up, sustaining it, or thinking about their future and retirement.
What are the things that your organization does specifically?
So ACSESS is 400 members across Canada of professional and general staffing organizations that provide their services to clients across Canada. It could be to manufacturing organizations, oil and gas, government, and banking industry sectors. And really, it's providing those individuals, whether they're general staffing individuals as well as professionals that have that expertise. We're really acting as the middle person, bringing in that expertise as well as our clients together to provide those services.
So to both of you, how have you been working together, and how did this come about?
Oh, it's a long story. I tried to meet with Mike a long time ago, and we were mainly based in Quebec. And when I met Mike, I tried to explain to him that the IT360 Financial program would probably be an added value to the relationship that they have with their independent contractor. So we met, and Mike was kind enough or crazy enough to say, yeah, there's something there, I really think that it could work and add value to our relationship, because we do a one-stop shop with the independent contractors, and Mike tried it with his organization, and it went really well. So you can hear it from the horse's mouth.
So I would say, Gary, when you are head of an association, you're always trying to add and find value on behalf of our members. And so when I look at what IT360 brings to the table, it helps support the independent consultants, but it also ensures that the clients of our organizations or our members have the confidence that we're mitigating their risk by providing the necessary tools to be able to provide those services.
Now, you've tasted this in your business. What are some of the specific essential pillars of this collaboration concretely?
So I look at it, it provides kind of simplicity for us. It is a one-stop shop where our independent consultants can go to get the necessary tools, things like insurance, things like financial planning, things like accounting services, all under one roof. At the same time, it's for our members to be able to ensure that as we bring aboard the individual independent consultants, that they have the necessary tools, insurance, etc., so that they are treated as businesses and that we reduce and mitigate the risk on behalf of our clients around things like misclassification.
Okay. Now, Michael, what's the role of ACSESS in the process? How do you help independent consultants?
So from that perspective, this is really another tool in our toolkit to be able to provide the necessary things for the independent consultants to run their business. And so it's really about just having access to this information, having access to the skills, having access to the expertise that they need to run their business on a day-to-day, whether it's starting it, sustaining it, or actually planning for the future.
Now, IT360 Financial, what's in it for consultants and what's in it for buyers of services?
Basically, for independent contractors, it's really twofold. The first thing is the misclassification that we talked about. The tax status for an independent contractor is very important. CRA will look at them and try to make them look like if they are or not independent contractor. And our role is to make sure that they run the business properly. They have everything set in place to make sure that they run a real business. Also, keep in mind, Gary, that independent contractor has been employees before, and they've decided to take that leap of faith of becoming business owner and start consulting business. They have no idea about how to start a business, what should I do accounting-wise, tax-wise, can I have a pension plan created for me? So all those things are in the program under one roof.
How about buyers of services?
So from the buyers, that would include both the members as well as our clients. And it's really, again, being able to ensure that the independent consultants have the necessary tools to be compliant. Every client's different with requirement, insurance issues, things like that. And so giving them access to get the necessary things that they need to run the business on a contract basis. But more importantly from our clients is to ensure that we are doing all the necessary things upfront when we onboard the consultants to mitigate their risk, so that, because this is a business-to-business relationship, and they want to make sure that the independent consultants who are providing the services have all the necessary things in order to provide those services.
B2B, win-win-win. Mike, Eric, thank you very much.
Thanks, Gary.
Now let's hear from consultants who shared their story in the book, and here's how IT360 Financial has transformed their lives. We're joined by Ghislaine Bungia, and Ghislaine, tell us how you've gone from being an engineer to an independent consultant.
I started my career as an engineer, indeed, for 2 years, moved to product development for 10 years, and then I had the chance to meet with great colleagues that looks quite stressless, and they all happen to be consultant doing different type of jobs, and I decided that I should take a chance and move to that role.
In the early days, did you face some of those broken paradigms that's talked about in the book, and what has IT360 Financial brought to you?
Many challenges, at least as I taught the project to move to consultancy. First, understanding on what were the key steps, what were the risks, what were the tools to get the first mandate, and so on. So working with Éric specifically has given me the stressless approach, the knowledge of all the tools that could really help me move forward in a peaceful way, and basically focusing on the right thing, the only thing that I was good at, meaning finding and working as a project manager. So it really bring me the knowledge and the peace to do the move easily.
Okay, what phase of your financial life cycle are you in, and have you already prepared for other phases?
The first few years, I've been doing it for 5 years as we speak. So the first few years was the first mandates, improving my revenue, improving my hourly rate to the maximum within my position, within the area where I work in Montreal. And I am now with my corporation at the phase where I'm trying to, push the annual revenue way further. So I'm analyzing various possibilities to take the company revenue to the next level without having to work extra hours, of course.
That sounds like a good deal. Have you had to deal with government agencies before at any point in your career, and how was it?
So when I started, I was lucky enough to get an advice from someone, which was to really understand from the very first day that the government is a partner of my company, whether I like it or not. So I've had to deal with them, of course. I deal with them on a daily basis for taxes declaration and so on and so forth. So definitely taking into account that they have a share in the company, they have whatever income comes in, we have to keep in mind that they have their share in it. There is a part of heavy administration too that we have to take into consideration as we decide to be in this consultancy projects.
Have you ever been, or are you part of a placement agency, and what did it bring you?
Replacement agency in my field, again, tech project management, they are most of the time the only way to get access to the end users, to the clients. So they are partners, as the agency is, to actually secure the mandates. So you're definitely a key partners for us to strive.
What are the most important features that IT360 Financial provides for you? What are the things that really have enabled you to be more successful at what you do?
From the very first day, because I've been working with other companies before, the only word that I would say is 360, which is really the full view of what this project of being a consultant is about. We're talking legal advice, we're talking insurance, we're talking sometimes key informations to get access to a mandate. We're talking authenticity and true information when we want to move forward. So definitely something that has been lacking. And of course, the fact that they are clearly focused in this specific type of clientele, the advices are really tailored to what we want. So I think it has, to me, been a key partner, not only to build the company, to build this success, but to build something that's sustainable.
And to bring things that maybe you never thought of before, too.
Of course.
Well, Ghislaine Bungia, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Thank you, Gary.
We're joined now by Maurice Chénier, who's an independent consultant who's featured in the book. Maurice, you've gone from being a salaried employee to an independent consultant, and this after retirement. Can you just maybe tell us a bit about that and that transition?
Yeah, thank you to share my story, my career. I had a wonderful career with the Government of Canada as a senior assistant deputy minister and vice president in charge of large, complex domestic and international projects. After 37 years plus in the federal public service, I decided that it was not the time to stop. So I did retire in 2019, but by utilizing IT consultant all my career, I said to myself, I want to continue in that vein in providing value in helping government, helping the industry. So I did become an IT consultant, a professional management consultant in strategic advisor around 2020. And I took a little bit of a break after retirement and COVID kicked in. So I had the opportunity to help many clients manage COVID in many areas. But I'm a full-fledged IT consultant with my own company, and I love it.
How did you manage your financial life as a consultant, knowing that you started this later in life nonetheless?
Yeah, later in life is interesting. I consider myself still very young in my career journey. My career includes my lifestyle, my family style, everything. So I don't see an end to it pretty soon, I hope. But it all started with doing some research on how to incorporate myself and all that. And I was not getting anywhere in terms of getting a set of service that would help me set up everything. Then someone recommended me IT360 Financial. I had a great chat with the team, and immediately we started to actually look at the phase that we need to do to get things done properly, which was the incorporation, the bookkeeping, the description of the company, then the investment strategy, and how to create wealth, with revenue prediction and all that. So, what was great? It was one-stop shopping, single window, I got what I wanted, and I started to focus with my client 100%.
So creating value for your client while creating value for yourself. What services did IT360 provide you with that you most appreciated, and what would you recommend, or what kind of advice would you give to people in that situation?
I'm going to qualify that as a turnkey independent consultant business management.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shopping for multiple service ranging from the incorporation, the legal aspect, the bookkeeping, ranging from the annual production of our financial and legal obligation up to negotiating the investment strategy. One thing that I really think created extra value was merging my personal profile, my finance, my vision of what I wanted to do out of having this company in terms of spend all the money, keep it, what do we want to do? So IT360 Financial was the best for me in blending everything for a one strategy that fits all for me and my family.
Okay, very, very interesting. Well, thank you very much, Maurice Chenier, who continues to be a consultant creating value and who gets value created for him through IT360 Financial. Thank you.
Thank you. Hopefully for many more years. Thank you.
I'm so proud of these stories, of these testimonials, you know. There's more of these financial success stories in the book. 3, 4, 5, 6 different IT consultants contributed to the book. And if you want to know more about our services, please contact us. It will be our pleasure to help you out through that chiropractor or financial chiropractor journey.